Okay, I am over here down at the pigs. My husband's feeding them right now, but there is a treasure here that I wanted to share with you that I discovered about a week ago when we moved the pigs. I don't know if you have heard of rosehip, but rosehip is the seed of a rose, and it comes out in the fall time. You can find it in the wild, you can find it domestically if you're growing roses, those kinds of things. And the reason this is such a treasure is because rosehip is loaded with vitamin C. Excellent for the winter. In fact, it has more vitamin C than an orange, which gets me excited because I get really leery. I love oranges, but I get really leery about buying them from the store because I just don't know how they were grown. There's a lot of questions that concern me. So if I can get my vitamin C from rosehip instead, I'm doing it until I figure out how to grow our own oranges. Now, I wanted you to look at it. You can see right here, there's a ton of these little berries. Yes, those berries are everywhere. These were wild roses, and they grew these seeds at the end, these red, orangish seeds in the fall time. You see that? They are literally all over these bushes, and I honestly would have never found them had we not moved the pigs back here and had them clear this space out. So I am going to get picking and see how many rosehip seeds I can gather. A quick note, you want to wear gloves because you see these lovely little thorns on here. Could really be painful. Just finished picking some berries. I'm gonna take these back to the house and get the stems off and divide up the good from the bad, and then I'm gonna make me a wonderful cup of tea. But first, I just wanna go over a few things that if you are foraging for rosehip, I keep calling rosehip seed, but what I mean by that is you have this rosehip right here. When you open it up, there are a lot of tiny seeds inside there. Now, if you were to use this to make something like jam or something like that, you'd want to take the seeds out and take the stems off and then cut off that little piece on the bottom there. Those are old petals. And then they would be able to be used for something like that. I just want to make tea with them and get the benefits from that, so I'm not going to worry about that at all. When you are foraging for rosehip, again, you want to look in the fall. They really should stand out because everything around you is dead, and then all of a sudden you have these red berries. They look like they're almost on blackberry bushes, the way they come out with those the stems coming out like this. It's very similar, and then of course you have all those thorns, the curved thorns on the stems. So that's what you want to look for. And another thing to note about rosehip, there is not a toxic lookalike, which is wonderful because when you're foraging, sometimes you have to be careful for things like that. With rosehip, there is nothing that looks similar that is toxic. So it's a great one for beginners who are foraging. And you know, you don't have to have property just to find this stuff. I can remember when we lived in the suburbs on less than a quarter-acre lot, I would go through the neighborhood. It had trees and stuff like that, and I would forage for things. I would find honeysuckles and blackberries. I even stumbled upon some wild blueberries. And you know, you can find rosehip there too. And again, like I said, if you're growing roses, then rosehip is right at your door. As long as you don't cut them back in the fall, you can have rosehip on those roses. It happens after the petals fall. They'll be a little bit larger if you're growing roses, as opposed to in the wild where they are, you know, quite small in the wild. They'll be double in size if you have a rose bush in your yard that you care for. But again, they are an excellent source of vitamin C, vitamin E. They're loaded with antioxidants. So it's something good for your body that you can find in nature that can be free. And it's an easy way for you to get goodness in your body in the wintertime by just brewing a cup of tea. If you are doing a cup of tea, 1 tablespoon of fresh rosehip to a cup of hot water, or if you're drying the rosehip like I'm going to do, 1 teaspoon of dried rosehip per cup of water. Add your honey and sugar as needed, and boom! You have an excellent cup of tea that's giving you the amount of vitamin C of an orange. It's a wonderful thing. Nature is a wonderful thing, and we need to start paying attention to things in nature that we can forage. I hope this video empowered you to go check out some woods, go in your neighborhood and look around to see if you can locate some rosehip and brew yourself some tea. I challenge you. Thanks for watching.